The discourse of Kapila with Devahooti, Narayaneeyam, Cantos 14 and 15. In earlier episodes on Narayaneeyam, we saw how Brahma emanated from the navel of Lord Vishnu and how, after some initial failures, he created the first human beings. In Canto 10, the poet indicated that Brahma created from the two sides of his body the male and the female, named Swayambhuva Manu and Shatarupa, and through them multiplied the human race. Swayambhuva Manu and his queen wife Shatarupa were blessed with a virtuous daughter named Devahooti. During that time, sage Kardama, who was born from the shadow of Brahma, became interested in creation. He worshipped Lord Vishnu. The Lord appeared before him and blessed that Kardama would have Manu's daughter Devahooti as his wife, and that Vishnu himself will be born as his son named Kapila. We shall now have a brief look at Cantos 14 and 15, wherein Bhattatri mentions the birth of Kapila and his discourse on Sankhya philosophy to his mother Devahooti. The poet says that, as advised by sage Narada, Swayambhuva Manu, along with Shatarupa, approached sage Kardama, who was awaiting their arrival. Devahooti was respectfully given by Manu to sage Kardama. Samanus Shatarupaya Mahishya Gunavatya Sutaya Cha Devahutya Bhavati Rita Narado Padishtaha Samagate Kardama Gati Pratiksham. Ultimately, Devahooti gave birth to Kapila, the incarnation of Vishnu. Bhattatri says, O Lord, in order to teach mankind the means for the attainment of the supreme reality, you were born to Devahooti in the name of Kapila. Nijabartrigira Bhavan Nisheva Nirataya Mata Deva Devahootyaam Kapilastwamaja Yatha Jananam Pratayishyanne Paramatma Tattva Vidyam. Then Devahooti, aware of the divinity of her son, approached Kapila and requested him to provide her with some spiritual knowledge. Pleased by his mother's sincere desire, Kapila spoke the Sankhya philosophy, the philosophy which leads one to discriminate between matter and spirit, and which culminates in ultimate liberation. According to Sankhya philosophy, the universe has manifested from the union of Prakriti and Purusha. Prakriti refers to matter, or the basic cosmic material that is the root of all beings. Purusha refers to the spirit or conscious energy that governs life and reality. The cosmic entity, Purusha, exists beyond the realms of time and space and combines with Prakriti to manifest this world of creation. Both these eternal, indestructible realities join to form the universe that we perceive. Unmanifest Prakriti is matter or nature. It is inactive, unconscious, and is a balance of the three gunas, namely sattva, rajas, and tamas, which are the innate tendencies. Prakriti evolves in response to Purusha. When Prakriti comes into contact with Purusha, this balance is disturbed and Prakriti becomes manifest. Then it evolves 23 tattvas or categories. These are 1. The great spirit known as Mahat Tattva. 2. The essence known as Ahankara. 3. The 5 Tanmatras, namely sound, smell, touch, form, and taste. 4. The 5 Bhutas, namely space, air, fire, water, and earth. 5. The Antahkarana, namely the mind and its various modes. And finally, the 6th, the 10 Indriyas, comprising of the 5 organs of knowledge, namely hearing, seeing, touch, taste, and smell, and the 5 organs of action, namely speech, hands, legs, anus, and genitals. These join together with the Purusha, and the Prakriti is the physical universe with which we are familiar. The Purusha by itself is free from the attributes of Prakriti, but if the Purusha identifies itself with Prakriti, then the attributes of Prakriti attach themselves to it. When the Purusha realizes the distinctiveness of these categories, he is liberated from the bondage of Prakriti. When the intellect gets attached to the sense objects, which are the product of the 3 gunas, it becomes the cause of bondage in this world. Otherwise, it leads to liberation. The path of devotion prevents attachment to sense objects. Therefore, we should cultivate devotion. This will arise only from following the path of holy people. Prakriti will leave its hold on Purusha if a person constantly worships the Almighty and inquires into his real nature. Therefore, purifying the mind by control of the senses and by meditative postures, one should constantly meditate on the form of the Lord, adorned with divine ornaments and weapons, seated on Garuda, and blue and lustrous like the Tamala tree. By regularly listening to the excellences and sportive deeds of the Lord, and by chanting His name, the supreme devotion is born. Kapila tells Devahooti that this devotion alone, in which the mind flows in an uninterrupted stream towards the Almighty, like the Ganga flowing towards the sea, can conquer the cycle of birth and death. Matiriha gunasakta bandhakrutteshvasakta tvamrutakrutu parundhe bhakti yogastu sakyam Mahadanugama bhaktirevatra sadhya Kapilatanuretitvam Devahooti nyagadhi Prakriti mahadadankarascha matrascha bhutan Apihridabhidashakshi Purusha Panchavimshahe Iti vidita vibhago muchyate so prakrutya Kapilatanuratitvam Devahooti nyagadhi Prakriti gata gunaughai najjate purushojam Yadi tu sajati tastyam tatgunastam bhajeram Madanu bhajana tattva lochanai sapyapeyat Kapilatanuratitvam Devahooti nyagadhi Vimalamatirupatai rasanadhyir madangam Garuda samadhirudham divyabhushayudangam Ruchitulita tamalam shilayetanuvelam Kapilatanuratitvam Devahooti nyagadhi Mama gunaganalila kannanai kirtanadhyai Maisura saridogha prakhyachittaanuvrittihi Bhavati parama bhakti sahi mrityor vijetri Kapilatanuratitvam Devahooti nyagadhi Men acquire wealth by unfair and cruel means for the support of their own families and are in subservience to women's charms and love of children. Being devoid of devotion and intensely attached to their worldly possessions, they are led to the sufferings of hell. Repeatedly entering the wombs for rebirth, the jiva, though retains the memory of the supreme reality, loses it during the travails of birth. After going through various sufferings of childhood, he enters the stage of youth when he once again is overcome by the infatuation of sense life. The poet says, O Lord, you brought conviction in the truth of knowledge to the mind of Devahooti through your instructions. You thus blessed Devahooti, who was singing your praise. She had attained the purity of mind and was liberated by following the path of devotion. You also left with a group of ascetics, and you stay even now in the northeast for the good of the people. What more do I say? You have firmly declared that devotion to your lotus feet removes all fears and fulfills all desires. O Lord of Guruvayur, please eradicate all my ailments and endow me with devotion to you. Iti suvidita vedyam devahe devahootim kritanuti manugruhya tumgato yogi sankhai vimalamatirataaso bhakti yojena mukta tvapi janahitartham artase pragudicham Paramakimi bohuktya tvatpadam boja bhaktim sakala bhaya vinetrim sarvakamopanetrim padasi kalu dridam tvam tadvidhuya mayan me guru pavana puresha tvayupadastva bhaktim. I have authored a book on Narayaneeyam. It will be available as an e-book in Google Play Books and as an e-book and printed book with other book publishers. The link for them are play.google.com and books2read.com. You can also find these links in the description part of this video. Please also visit my website at www.ramannitya.com.